give you something big, there are signs that begin to show up in your life. It's not something that happens overnight, and it doesn't always look the way you expect, but one thing is for sure, God has a way of preparing us for the blessings he's about to release. And when you're on the verge of something big, you'll start to notice certain things happening around you. You'll see them, you'll feel them, and they'll all point to the fact that something extraordinary is on its way. First, you'll begin to experience unusual favor. Doors that once seemed closed will suddenly swing open. Opportunities will show up where there were none before. People will begin to show up in your life, offering help and support in ways that surprise you. These moments aren't coincidences. They are God's way of setting the stage for your breakthrough. You'll find favor in places you didn't expect, and that favor will begin to accelerate your progress. You won't have to struggle to be seen or heard. The right people will notice you at the right time. And when that happens, it's a sign that God is getting ready to bless you in a way you've never imagined. But with favor comes struggle. You see, right before the big blessing, you may go through some of your toughest battles. You may wonder why things are so hard, why you're facing opposition, why doors that should be opening are being slammed shut. But I want you to understand something. This is not the time to give up. This is the moment you need to dig in, hold on tight, and trust that the struggle you're facing is actually preparing you for the success you're about to walk into. It's a refining process. It's like gold going through the fire, and though it may hurt, it's making you stronger, it's making you better, and it's making you ready for the big blessing. As you face that struggle, you might notice an increase in opposition. People who were once supportive may begin to question you, doubt you, or even try to discourage you. The obstacles you encounter may seem more numerous and intense. But let me tell you this, opposition is a sign that you're getting closer to your breakthrough. When you're moving in the right direction, the enemy will do everything he can to slow you down, to make you second guess yourself, and to throw you off course. But don't be discouraged by the opposition. It's actually a compliment. It's proof that you're walking in the path of purpose, and the enemy is trying to stop you from reaching the big blessing that's already on the way. At the same time, you'll feel something shifting inside of you. Your heart will begin to desire more. You'll start to feel a longing for something greater, something bigger than what you've been chasing up until now. God works in mysterious ways, and before he gives you that big blessing, he begins by preparing your heart. He stirs up desires within you that may be new or even uncomfortable, but they are signs that he is enlarging your vision and preparing you to receive what's next. You won't be satisfied with the small anymore. You'll be hungry for the bigger, the greater, the more significant. And when that happens, know that God is shifting you for something big. And then there's the undeniable sign of timing. God's timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't feel like it. You might feel like you've been waiting forever. You might be looking around, seeing others advance while you feel stuck. But know this, God's timing is never off. The breakthrough will come at the perfect moment. And when it does, you'll realize that every delay, every waiting period was actually part of the preparation process. God was waiting for you to be ready, waiting for the right conditions to be in place, waiting for the right people to come into your life. And when the time is right, it won't just be big, it will be exactly what you need at that moment. No more, no less. Finally, there's a feeling that begins to settle over you, an open heaven. It's like a flood of peace and anticipation that you can't shake. You'll feel closer to God, like he's about to release something into your life. You might have a deep sense that something significant is just around the corner, even though you can't see it yet. It's a spiritual awareness that God's presence is surrounding you, and you're about to step into something that's been divinely ordained for your life. The sense of peace you experience during this time is a clear sign that God is in control, that his hand is on your life, and that the breakthrough is already in motion. So if you're facing opposition, if things seem harder than usual, if your heart is longing for more, and if you're feeling a sense of anticipation in your spirit, know that these are signs. They are God's way of preparing you for something big, something that will exceed all your expectations. Don't give up. Stay the course. Trust the process. The big blessing is coming, and when it does, it will be bigger than you ever imagined. Keep believing, keep moving forward, because when God is about to give you something big, you will see the signs and you will know that your time has come. When God is about to give you something big, one of the first signs you'll notice is an outpouring of unusual favor. It's like you've suddenly stepped into a season where things that once seemed difficult or out of reach are now coming to you effortlessly. Opportunities will present themselves in unexpected ways, and people who didn't even know you existed will begin to take notice. You might find that doors are opening for you that you didn't even know were there, and that those who hold the keys to your success are willing to give you access without hesitation. Favor doesn't just look like the right doors opening, it also looks like people showing up at the right time with the right help. It's as though the universe is aligning to ensure that everything you need is available to you right when you need it. You'll find that the things that used to require constant struggle, be it in your career, relationships, or personal growth, suddenly start to fall into place. You might not be doing anything differently, but you're finding that everything is working in your favor. It's a sign that God's hand is guiding you toward your destiny, and you are no longer walking on your own. Even when you face challenges, favor will make the burden lighter, and the difficulties you once thought would hold you back will seem less intimidating. People will begin to vouch for you, open opportunities for you, and support you in ways that seem almost miraculous. This favor doesn't come from your own abilities alone. It's a supernatural acceleration that pushes you forward even when you think you've reached your limit. You'll realize that your progress isn't based on your own strength, talent, or connections. God is orchestrating the events, aligning people and circumstances in your favor. There might even be moments when you wonder how things could be happening for you in this way, but that's when you recognize that it's not by your own doing, it's by divine favor. It's important to recognize that this favor isn't something you can earn or force. It's a sign that God is positioning you for something greater, and it's His grace that is making these opportunities come to you. You might find yourself walking into situations where people are willing to help you just because they see something in you. They may not even fully understand why they're doing it, but it will be clear to you that God's favor is at work. It's a reminder that God has been preparing the path for you long before you even realized it. When God is about to bless you with something big, this unusual favor is a clear indication that He is aligning your life with His purpose for you. It's the moment when everything begins to feel right and things start happening in ways that you couldn't have orchestrated on your own. It's the beginning of a new chapter, and favor is the key that unlocks the door to your future. When you're on the verge of something big, one of the most important signs to pay attention to is the struggle that seems to intensify just before your breakthrough. It often feels like you're facing more resistance than ever before, as if the universe or life itself is working against you. But the truth is, this struggle is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of preparation. It's like the pressure a diamond endures before it's revealed in its full brilliance. What you're going through is not meant to break you, but to shape you into something stronger and more resilient. In the moments of difficulty, you might question why things are harder than usual. You could feel like every step forward is met with 2 steps back, or that the progress you've worked so hard for is being delayed. It's easy to start wondering if you're on the right path, especially when you're met with unexpected challenges or when things don't go as planned. But this is exactly when you need to dig deeper and hold on tighter. The struggle is often the final test of your endurance, your character, and your faith. It's the refining fire that burns away the things that are holding you back, the doubts that keep you from reaching your fullest potential, and the limitations you've placed on yourself. When you're close to a breakthrough, life has a way of intensifying the struggle. Relationships may become strained, finances may tighten, and your work or personal goals may feel harder to attain. These challenges seem to come out of nowhere, and they can make you question if you're doing something wrong or if the dream you've been holding on to is even worth it. But what you're actually experiencing is the necessary friction that comes before growth. You are being stretched, tested, and refined for what lies ahead. The struggle before success is also a reminder that your dreams are worth fighting for. If achieving something big were easy, everyone would do it. But those who are destined for greatness are the ones who have the resilience to face the struggle and keep moving forward. This is the point where many people give up, but those who push through and keep believing in the process are the ones who find success on the other side. Your breakthrough is coming, but it requires you to embrace the struggle, not avoid it. The very obstacles you're facing are often the things that will prepare you for the blessing that's just around the corner. It's during these tough seasons that you are growing in ways you can't always see in the moment. You're learning how to navigate adversity, how to persevere when things are tough, and how to trust in God's plan even when it doesn't make sense. The strength you're building during this period will be exactly what you need to sustain the success that's coming your way. The lessons you learn, the patience you develop, and the endurance you cultivate will be the foundation for the big blessing God is preparing for you. So when you find yourself in the middle of a struggle, remember, it's not a sign that you've been forgotten or that you're failing. It's a sign that you're being prepared for something greater. You are being shaped for success, and the struggle you're experiencing is the gateway to the success you've been praying for. Hold on, stay the course, and know that the challenge you're facing is just the beginning of the breakthrough that's about to unfold. The pressure you're under now will eventually release you into the success that has been waiting for you all along. When God is about to give you something big, one of the clearest signs you'll notice is an increase in opposition. It might seem counterintuitive, but as you get closer to your breakthrough, the resistance you face will become stronger. This isn't the time to back down or retreat. In fact, it's a sign that you're on the right track. When you're moving in the direction of your purpose, opposition is inevitable. It's not a sign that you're doing something wrong, but rather a confirmation that you're moving closer to something big. Opposition often comes from unexpected places. It could be in the form of people who doubt you or question your decisions. It may come from critics who don't understand your vision, and their words might sting. You might encounter negativity, criticism, and even people who try to sabotage your efforts. But remember this, opposition often arises when you're on the verge of a breakthrough. It's like the enemy knows that your victory is close, so he tries to throw obstacles in your path to make you quit, to get you to doubt your calling or your abilities. But in reality, this opposition is just a sign that you're walking in the right direction and that your breakthrough is near. When opposition increases, it can feel overwhelming. It may seem like every step forward is met with resistance, every good idea is met with criticism, and every attempt to progress is blocked by a new obstacle. But I want to remind you that opposition isn't a roadblock. It's a stepping stone. The greater the opposition, the greater the opportunity for growth. It's like lifting weights in the gym. The more resistance you face, the stronger you become. The opposition you're facing now is building your spiritual muscles, making you stronger, more focused, and more determined to push through to the other side. This increased opposition also reveals your resilience. When you're on the path to something big, your faith will be tested, your patience will be tested, your commitment to your purpose will be tested. It's easy to stay motivated when everything is going smoothly, but when opposition arises, it forces you to dig deep, to remember why you started, and to press forward even when it seems like all odds are against you. It's in these moments that you discover just how strong you really are and how committed you are to the vision God has placed in your heart. Another thing to understand about opposition is that it often comes from people who don't understand your calling. They may not see the bigger picture or the vision you've been given, and out of fear or confusion, they may challenge your direction. This is when it's important to stay focused on your purpose and trust that God is guiding you even if others can't see it. Not everyone will understand the journey you're on, and not everyone will be able to support you in the way you want or expect. But the fact that you're facing opposition means you're doing something that matters, something that will make a difference. If your calling was insignificant, there would be no need for resistance. It's also essential to recognize that opposition can come in many forms. Sometimes it's external, like criticism or setbacks. Other times it's internal, the doubts that creep in, the fear that rises when things get tough, the discouragement that makes you question whether you're capable of achieving the dream you've been chasing. These internal struggles can often feel like the most difficult to overcome because they attack your confidence and your belief in yourself. But when you face this kind of opposition, you have to remember that you are more than a conqueror. The struggle might be intense, but it's temporary. You have the strength to overcome it, and each time you push through, you're getting closer to the victory. Finally, as you face this increased opposition, remember that it's also an opportunity to grow in your faith. God allows us to experience opposition not because he wants to see us fail, but because he wants us to trust him more deeply. The challenges you face are the very things that will help you develop a deeper reliance on his strength. They force you to lean into him, to pray more fervently, and to rely on his wisdom and guidance. The greater the opposition, the greater the opportunity for your faith to grow and to deepen. So when you find yourself facing increased opposition, don't be discouraged. See it for what it is, a sign that something big is coming. The enemy doesn't fight against small things. He fights against things that have the power to change lives, things that have the potential to shift entire communities and generations. Opposition is a sign that you are a threat to the status quo, and your breakthrough is not just inevitable, it's imminent. Keep pressing forward, keep trusting, and know that the opposition you face today is the very thing that will prepare you for the victory that lies ahead. When God is about to give you something big, one of the most profound signs you'll experience is a shift in your heart. It's a transformation that occurs within you, one that's often subtle at first, but undeniable once you recognize it. This shift isn't necessarily about external circumstances changing. It's about a change in your desires, your goals, and the way you see your future. God begins to stir something deep inside of you, and suddenly you find that the things you once thought you wanted no longer hold the same appeal. Your heart begins to long for something greater, something that aligns more closely with the purpose he has designed for you. This shift often feels like a stirring in your spirit, a sense of anticipation or excitement for what's ahead. You may find that you're no longer satisfied with the way things are, even though everything might look fine on the outside. The old dreams, the ones you once chased with all your energy, no longer feel like the right fit for who you've become. There's a sense of discomfort, a growing dissatisfaction that drives you to seek more purpose, more fulfillment. It's as though God is pulling you out of your comfort zone and into a new season, one that requires you to look beyond your own desires and into the bigger picture he's crafting for your life. This change of heart can feel unsettling at times, especially if it means letting go of things or people that you once considered essential. There may be a time when you feel torn between the old and the new, between what's familiar and what's unknown. You might be tempted to hold on to what you've known, even if it no longer serves your greater purpose. But as God shifts your heart, he makes it clear that there's something more significant ahead and that you need to let go of what no longer fits in order to step into the fullness of what he's prepared for you. It's a season of releasing the old, even the good things, to make room for the new, the better things that are waiting for you. This heart shift is often accompanied by a deep sense of clarity. While the future might have once seemed uncertain or even intimidating, you begin to sense a clear direction. It's like God gives you a new vision for your life, a vision that feels bigger, brighter, and more aligned with your true calling. You might feel drawn to new opportunities or passions that you hadn't considered before, and suddenly the path ahead seems much more defined. A sense of peace that comes with this clarity, even if the journey ahead still seems daunting. It's the confidence that comes from knowing you're being led in the right direction, even if it's unfamiliar or uncomfortable. You may also notice that your desires for success, wealth, or recognition begin to shift. While those things may have once been at the top of your list, you'll start to feel a deeper longing for purpose, impact, and fulfillment. It's not that success and achievement are bad, they're just no longer the driving force. Instead, your heart begins to yearn for something more meaningful, to use your gifts and talents for a greater purpose, to make a lasting difference in the lives of others, to leave a legacy that reflects God's glory. The desire to serve, to give, and to make an impact becomes stronger than the desire for personal gain. And that is when you know God is preparing you for something big. In many cases, this shift in your heart also brings with it a deeper sense of gratitude. As your desires align more with God's purpose, you begin to see the blessings in your life through a new lens. The things you once took for granted now seem more precious, and your perspective on what truly matters shifts. You begin to value relationships, experiences, and moments of peace over material possessions or fleeting achievement. It's a heart shift that not only propels you forward, but helps you appreciate the journey no matter how challenging it may be. It's important to recognize that this heart shift doesn't always happen overnight. It's a gradual process, one that may take time to fully unfold. But when it happens, you'll feel the unmistakable pull towards something bigger than yourself. God is molding your heart for the big things he's about to bring into your life. He's preparing you not just to receive the blessing, but to handle it with the right heart. A heart that's focused on his glory, on serving others, and on fulfilling the purpose he's placed inside of you. So when you feel that shift in your heart, when you feel that stirring that leads you to long for something more, don't ignore it, embrace it. It's a sign that God is repositioning you for something greater, and he's preparing your heart to carry the weight of the blessing he's about to release. Trust the process. Lean into the change and know that this transformation is just the beginning of something amazing. The shift in your heart is the first step towards stepping into the big things that God has in store for you. When God is about to give you something big, one of the most profound signs you will experience is the undeniable presence of his timing. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that God's timing is never off, even when everything around you feels uncertain or delayed. In those moments when you're waiting for what seems like the longest time, you'll feel a deep peace within, knowing that everything is happening according to his perfect plan. This peace doesn't come from the absence of waiting. It comes from the trust that God is orchestrating everything behind the scenes and that the timing of your breakthrough is in his hands. God's timing often doesn't align with our human sense of timing. We live in a world where instant gratification is the norm, where we expect things to happen quickly on our terms and according to our schedule. But when God is about to bless you with something big, he often requires you to wait. And that waiting period is not wasted. It's a time of preparation. It's a time when God is refining you, developing your character, and aligning everything around you to support the vision he's given you. When you're waiting on God's timing, it might feel like things are moving slowly or not at all, but trust that he is working behind the scenes, aligning the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances. God doesn't operate according to our deadlines. His timing is different because it's perfect. There's a reason why your breakthrough hasn't come yet. Perhaps it's because you're not fully prepared to handle the blessing he's about to pour into your life. Maybe there's more growth he wants to see in you, or he's waiting for a specific moment when everything will align perfectly. There's an old saying that goes, God is never late, but he's rarely early. And this couldn't be truer when it comes to receiving something big from God. His timing is always right. When the moment comes, everything will fall into place, and you'll see why he had you wait. During this waiting period, there are moments when you might feel frustrated or discouraged. You might wonder why it's taking so long, why things aren't happening when you think they should. But it's in these moments that God is building your faith and your trust. The waiting teaches you patience. It teaches you to rely on him instead of your own efforts. It teaches you that his plans are bigger than your plans, and that he knows what's best for you at every stage of your life. The waiting isn't just a passive experience. It's a time for you to grow deeper in your relationship with him, to trust him more fully, and to surrender your timeline to his will. One of the most beautiful aspects of God's timing is that it's never rushed or hurried. It's intentional, and it's always perfect. You might find that when the breakthrough does come, everything feels just right. You might look back and realize that all the pieces fell into place in ways that you couldn't have predicted. This is the moment when you see that everything you went through, all the waiting, the challenges, and the struggles were part of God's design. He wasn't delaying your blessing, he was preparing you for it. And sometimes God's timing also involves timing that's not just about you. He may be waiting for the right circumstances to come together in the lives of others around you. Perhaps a person you need to meet or an opportunity you need to seize hasn't been made available yet. It's not because God is forgetting you. It's because he's putting everything into place for a divine connection or event that will open doors you never imagined. His timing involves more than just your individual circumstances. It's about a larger tapestry that he's weaving together, and you're a part of it. There's also the beautiful reality that God's timing is often better than our own. We might think we know what's best and when we need it, but God knows the future. He sees the bigger picture. He knows what's coming ahead, and he's orchestrating your blessing to ensure it fits perfectly with the season you're about to enter. What you think you need now may not be what you actually need in the long run. God sees the full story. He knows the timing, the process, and the outcome. When the blessing finally arrives, it will be at a moment in time that makes perfect sense, and you will understand that waiting was part of God's master plan all along. So when you find yourself in a season of waiting, don't let frustration or impatience take over. Instead, embrace the process. Know that God's timing is working on your behalf, and everything is unfolding according to his perfect plan. The breakthrough you've been longing for is closer than you think, and when it comes, it will be exactly when you need it, not a moment too soon or too late. Trust that he's preparing you, aligning the pieces, and getting everything ready for the big blessing he's about to release into your life. And when the time is right, you'll see the beauty of God's timing, and you'll be ready to step into the fullness of what he's planned for you. When God is about to give you something big, one of the most unmistakable signs you will encounter is the sense of an open heaven. It's as if the barriers between the earthly realm and the divine realm are thinning, and you begin to feel the heavens open up above you, showering you with blessings, clarity, and favor. This isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a tangible experience that manifests in ways you can't ignore. The open heaven is a season when you find yourself aligned with God's will in a way that feels effortless, and you see more doors opening for you than ever before. You're no longer struggling to make things happen on your own. It's as if God is moving on your behalf in ways you never imagined, bringing everything you need at the right moment. This open heaven signifies a release of divine favor and provision. It's the sense that God is pouring out his blessings upon you, and you are in a season where opportunities are plentiful. Things that once felt impossible or out of reach suddenly become attainable. You may find that resources you need, whether they're financial, relational, or even emotional, begin to flow in unexpectedly. The connections you need to move forward in your purpose seem to fall into your lap, and you start experiencing a supernatural acceleration of your goals. It's like a floodgate has opened, and everything you've been praying for is beginning to come into your life in abundance. An open heaven also brings a deep sense of divine clarity. In this season, you begin to hear God more clearly, and your decisions are guided by his wisdom. There's a heightened sense of spiritual awareness, and you find that your steps are ordered by God in ways that feel synchronized with his greater plan. Your prayers feel more direct, and your ability to discern God's will for your life becomes sharper. You may even experience moments where you feel a surge of inspiration or a new vision for your future, one that aligns with God's purpose for you. The open heaven opens your eyes to what's truly important and provides the insight you need to navigate the next phase of your journey. It's important to realize that an open heaven doesn't just mean blessings flowing effortlessly. It also means an increase in spiritual warfare. When heaven opens to pour out blessings, the enemy takes notice. You may encounter more opposition, more challenges, and more attacks. But the beauty of an open heaven is that even in the midst of difficulty, you're still surrounded by God's favor. The open heaven is a divine shield that protects you while you're moving forward, ensuring that nothing will stop the plans God has for you. The blessings that are coming to you are meant to be carried out in his strength, and he will fight on your behalf when the enemy tries to interfere. One of the most profound aspects of an open heaven is the heightened sense of God's presence in your life. It's like you're no longer just going through the motions of life, but walking in close communion with the Creator. Your prayer life becomes more intimate, your worship more powerful, and your connection with God more tangible. You may find yourself experiencing moments of awe where God's presence feels overwhelming and his love feels undeniable. It's a reminder that when God is about to do something big in your life, he draws near to you in an intimate way. You're no longer walking alone. His presence surrounds you, guiding you, comforting you, and filling you with peace. During an open heaven, your faith will also be stretched. You'll be called to step out in new ways, to trust God on a deeper level, and to believe that he is capable of doing the impossible. This season is one where you will see miracles, signs, and wonders unfold in your life. Things that seem too good to be true will happen, and you'll be reminded that with God, all things are possible. But to experience this open heaven to its fullest, you must be willing to let go of your doubts and step boldly into the unknown. It's a time to believe that God's plans for you are not just big, but beyond anything you could ask, think, or imagine. The open heaven is also a season of divine acceleration. It's as if everything you've been waiting for, every prayer, every step of faith, suddenly aligns in a way that propels you forward at an unprecedented pace. What once took years to achieve might now happen in a matter of months or even weeks. It's a supernatural speed that comes only from God's timing, and it's designed to position you quickly for the blessing he's about to pour into your life. It's a time when you will see things move quickly, when opportunities will arise that seem almost too good to be true, but are in fact exactly what God has prepared for you. And in this season, your vision will expand. The open heaven invites you to see things through God's eyes, to look beyond your current limitations and see what he sees. You'll start to envision a future that is greater than you ever thought possible. You'll begin to dream bigger and more boldly because you'll recognize that the sky's the limit when God is involved. Your dreams and aspirations will no longer feel impossible. They will feel like divine assignments, and you will feel empowered to pursue them because you know that God's resources are limitless. So when you feel that shift and sense that the heavens are open over your life, recognize it for what it is, a divine moment of favor, clarity, provision, and protection. This open heaven is a sign that God is setting the stage for something bigger than you've ever imagined. Embrace it, walk confidently in it, and trust that this season is one of divine preparation for the big things God is about to release into your life. An open heaven is a sign that the breakthrough you've been waiting for is already in motion, and now it's time for you to step into the fullness of what God has for you. In conclusion, when God is about to give you something big, you'll experience unmistakable signs that reveal his hand at work in your life. You'll notice the unusual favor that seems to follow you, the struggle that precedes success, the increased opposition that confirms you're on the right path, the shift in your heart that aligns you with his purpose, and the undeniable precision of God's timing. And when the heavens open up, you'll experience the outpouring of his blessings, clarity, and favor in ways you never imagined. These signs are not random. They're the evidence that God is preparing you for something greater than you've ever dreamed. Remember, every season of waiting, every challenge, and every moment of uncertainty is part of God's master plan to position you for the big breakthrough he's about to release. It's not always easy, but when you keep your eyes on the signs, trust in his timing, and stay aligned with his purpose, you can be confident that the blessings ahead will far exceed anything you've had to endure. Embrace the journey, because when God is about to give you something big, he will lead you through these signs to prepare you for the greatness he has in store. The best is yet to come, and you are closer to it than you think. Stay faithful, stay expectant, and keep pressing forward,